Brother Benson TV coming to you live from Kisumu City, and as usual we focus more on public opinion on various issues that touch on the nation. Presently in Kenya there is so much going on, particularly within government, and we are seeing much development within the president's ruling coalition, and particularly the ruling elite, where for once we are seeing a minister, a member of the cabinet, coming out openly to point a finger at the government. The question being, the debate around the abductions, and we have seen the public service minister, former speaker Justin Muturi, coming out openly and telling off government or calling out on government to deal with the abductions, seemingly pointing a finger directly at the government. The minister is basing his argument on an incident where his own son was abducted, and he's telling government that government has questions to answer and telling explanations to the people. So we're just wondering, for the first time we are seeing a situation where a cabinet minister is pointing a finger at a government where he is serving. So to help us understand this on the streets of Kisumu today, I have a youth leader and also an elder from the streets of Kisumu. So I'll start with the youth. Obviously, it's around the youths and the abductions. We are seeing a lot of things happening. We've seen since when the Gen Zs came out to the streets, and now the cases of abductions, and now we are seeing a whole minister pointing a finger at the government.
The reason why I came here today is just to come and deliver that statement, in which I have given the details to the DCI here. Yes, my self-recorded statement dated today, and that's why I was here. It was just merely to respond to the challenge thrown at me, because I have nothing to hide. It is a fact that my son had been abducted. It's also a fact that he was held in Communicado for several hours, and indeed he was later released, but I don't know by whom he had been abducted, but by who he was held.
What could be happening?
And to us as the youth, we are saying that one is right, because nobody can support abduction, because even they are parents. The president is a parent and he has children. What about if the children of the president are abducted? What will he say? On the other hand, we are saying that it is the role of the police, and the police is part of the state. It is the role of the police and the state to protect the citizens.
Yes.
And if at all the abducted youths are not, their whereabouts are not known, then we are asking the government, what is their role? And why should they not protect the citizens? Because the Constitution has given the mandate that they must protect the citizens.
So what will happen to Muturi? He's holding a political office, he's an appointee of the president, and where does he get the courage even to point a finger at the same government where he's serving? Does he have a chance of surviving beyond the heat that is happening in the country presently?
He has shown a weak point in the government. And showing a weak point in the government, it means he's acting like a traitor. And the traitor cannot walk among the plotters. So what our can advise Muturi is just to resign. If at all he feels that he's not safe where he is, let him resign, to show the public that he knows what he wants. And at all, I'm sure that the president is not going to take it lightly, because you cannot sit with a traitor in the same table and then you expect to tell him some secrets. Obviously, the secrets will be leaked out. And the likes of Muturi, they have shown to be the rebels within the government. So let him resign, to prove the Kenyans that he stands for a better cause. He does not support. He does not support abduction, because abduction. No one believes in abduction. We have the court of law, where one is arrested, he should be taken to the court of law, charged with the offense. Then we see what to do.
Okay. Mzee Akachi, you have heard from the youth and the youth leadership and what they are saying. And now on you, when we are discussing this, we are speaking from experience. Never before have we witnessed in the country a cabinet member, a cabinet minister, or presently a cabinet secretary opposing or seemingly pointing a finger at a government that you serve. What is Muturi up to? if somebody might ask. Former Speaker Justin Muturi, what is he trying?
Surely, to me, I have to say, this Muturi has no political foresight. In the first place, his son was arrested at the time of demonstration, the Gen Zs.
Yes.
And then, before Ruto came to power, he was the one saying Ruto has been brought by the Lord. And then he was invited, and he became Attorney General, who knows every law. To me, I must say, he might be thinking through the belly, because he has no political foresight. How does he criticize the government he formed? After the arrest of his son, he could have known. Although I was on the opposite, I never supported Ruto. But when Ruto came, this Muturi was at the spotlight supporting Ruto. To me, I must say, he never had any political foresight. But what it is, he should not move with the political wavelength of Mount Kenya. See, at his age, at his level of life, he should know how Moi ruled this nation. Let me tell you, Muturi, to me, he could have resigned immediately after his son was arrested. After taking the position of
The Gen Zs.
Gen Zs, he took the position of cabinet minister. How does he criticize the president? How does he criticize the president? He could have resigned immediately before criticizing president, because he has been eating there. Muturi is a politant. Muturi is a politant. And to me, he is unfit to be a cabinet minister. How does he criticize Ruto? And he has been supporting Ruto.
And Elder, you mentioned something about Mount Kenya politics, and you're seeing much of the mountain support that was there for the president is dwindling.
Yes.
And now, is he getting ready? Is it a political move, apart from just criticizing the president and everything? Is he playing politics in all this equation?
Muturi is playing politics. To me, at my age and my social life, my social level.
Yes.
Let me tell you, the mountaineers will never defeat Ruto. I saw the rule of Moi. Their residency in Rift Valley is so delicate. Muturi should think twice. The residency of Kiuks in Rift Valley is so delicate. They will never manage Ruto, because they have invested in Rift Valley. Ruto has everything in his hands. And that power of knife, the powerful knife, yes. Many Kius are thinking through the belly, although they have investment in Rift Valley, but they will never manage Ruto. What it is, Muturi, why should he waste time? He should resign and then be on the opposition. But the wavelength, the political wavelength in Mount Kenya will never make Ruto move.
So Philip, this call for Muturi to resign, you say that he should resign. Should he resign for fearing the president, or he should resign on principle of being against the abductions?
I can say, number one, I can say that he should not fear the president, because he's just a normal human being, and the president is just a normal human being like him. But when he believes on the cause that he's saying that abduction is not the right way to go, then let him resign, because the office that he's holding was an appointive position that has been done by the president, and it means he cannot master what the boss is saying. Let him resign. And on the position of the issue of him resigning, I may say that it can also be a political tool, because the president has seen that the mountain side has gone against him. So it might be used on the other way around, by bringing Muturi to resign, for him to seek the sympathy vote of Mount Kenya people, for him to go and divide where Gachagua has contained. It can be a divide and rule game but that can be used. That may be used at the end as Muturi becoming the kingpin of the mountain, because the equation of the kingpin of the mountain that we are going with in the 27 election is also an equation that must be raised at this time, because immediately Gachagua was impeached, he returned back home and told the people what is inside there, and the people believed what he has said all along, and that is why you can see him rising day by day against the other politicians. So the same tactics can also be used, whereby Muturi can be told to criticize the government. After criticizing the government, he is being chased. After being chased, he's going to seek the sympathy of the people back at home. So long as he's going to seek the sympathy back at home, then there's going to be a division between the Gachagua support base and Muturi support base. So it can also be a political tool that is being used.
Philip is bringing in another complicated equation, that this might be a political game, that it is the usual character that go and dismantle the central. So who might be behind? Are you imagining that even the president can be sponsoring the opposition within his own government?
Yes, he may do it, because in politics anything can be used to win the trust of the common man. Though the common man can see it and take it lightly, but deep inside, the politicians themselves know the game that they are playing, because they do disagree on daytime, but during the night they do agree, and make what benefits them.
A very complicated equation we are having here, Mr. Elder Catch.
Yes.
We are seeing a scenario. What are the options? Even if he resigns, does he resign in fearing the president, or just in the matter of principle that you cannot serve a government that you are opposing?
Muturi does not have any principle. Even if he resigns today, he will join the mountaineers. That would be a tribal cocoon. What it is, as I've said, I'm not supporting abduction. That is a primitive way of management.
Yes.
Yeah. Of critics. I saw when Obama became the president.
Yes.
He was put in a chair, naked. He never did anything. But what it is, I'm not saying that I could do it better than Ruto, but the populace are civilized now. The populace are civilized, and I'm urging the president to stop this abduction. Yeah.
So the president to stop the abductions, but now when you are calling on the minister now to consider resigning, should Muturi resign by just fearing the president, or should he resign by knowing that abduction is wrong and he should stop?
As for me, I would wish to say that man should have resigned immediately, and he should resign now, because he does not have political foresight. He knew when they were campaigning, they say this president was brought by the Lord. Who's Lord? Who's God? To me, does this man think when he was supporting Ruto?
We are just getting public opinion on the current situation in the country, where we are seeing a cabinet secretary coming out openly to oppose the very government that sits at the highmost table, that is the cabinet position. So it's just a matter of time. Every minute in the Kenyan politics, things can change within a minute, things can change within a day, things can change within a month or so. So nobody ever expected to see a cabinet secretary doing that or opposing a government. So it's upon the president, who is the appointing authority, to make the final decision, or even the biggest decision will lie on the very cabinet secretary. Will he resign or not? It's a question that with time we will get to see, and we'll get the answers right.
At my age, I'm not the kind of person to respond to some of it is really very perfunctory statement made by fairly inexperienced politicians. I think they are not worthy my response. So if anybody thinks that I don't know what I'm doing, then they are up for a rude shock.
Your final statements regarding this ongoing debate before we close. Maybe you're looking, okay.
Mine is going to Muturi, and these are the questions that I need to ask you, and you should tell Kenyans, why are you doing this thing at this time? Because I want to ask you, when was the child abducted? Yes, it was during the Gen Z protest. How many children or how many youths were abducted by that time? Have they been released? Were they released? Were they taken to the court of law? If it is yes, then we shall have the answer. If it is no, then we shall have the answer. After that, we have seen so many abductions where some youths were abducted recently. Why didn't you raise the question even before they were abducted? Why come out at this time that your child was abducted? And yet, you have been in the government that has been abducting all these youths every now and then. Why must you come out now and tell Kenyans that your child was abducted? And if he was abducted, did you report it to the DCI headquarters? Or did you report it to any various security authority to know where the whereabouts of your child? We are asking, and we must be concerned with the reason why you are asking it now, because we know the political move that you are taking. We know the political tactics that you want to use to switch on the mind of Kenyans. But we as youths, at times we may not trust you, because you have been part of the system that has been maiming, that has been killing these youths. Tell us the truth, the reason why you are doing it at this time.
You've been in this for a period,
Yeah.
and you've seen a lot in the Kenyan political field.
To me, I should urge him immediately to resign. If he never thought about it, he should resign immediately, because he's a politant. He does not have political wisdom. He should resign immediately, because he's making a mistake and it's confusing Kenyans. What it is, he knew Ruto, and he was the former speaker of this nation. Then he became Attorney General. Those life experience should have given him a chance to have political foresight. I'm asking him to resign. He should not confuse Kenyans. And let me tell you, those people, the mountaineers, they are going together. It is never going to help them. Muturi is going to fail in his political pattern.
So it's just a matter, Elder has just concluded it by saying that whatever Muturi is up to is going to fail. And there's also the other question from Philip, asking, why now? So as we said, that it's just a matter of time. Only time will tell. Time will tell what shall happen next. Time will tell what shall happen to him, maybe from the authorities or from his personal decisions. And time will tell when it comes to the year 2027, when Kenyans will go back to the elections, and by then we'll see what time we'll have provided to Kenyans. It has been Brother Benson TV coming to you live from Kisumu City. We've been engaging members of the public along the streets of Kisumu just to get the public opinion on various happenings around the world or even in the country Kenya today. So as we say, the more that the thing develops, the more that we see the changes in every step, we'll keep you posted and we'll get more public opinion as the way things move. I've been your host, Odera Wycliffe, on behalf of Brother Benson TV, coming to you live from Kisumu. And we are saying thank you for staying tuned. You can follow our various links. You can log in onto our various platforms. And we appreciate your participation and support to Brother Benson TV. Till next time, we say bye for now.